getting a little too happy with those short hops. Better believe you might be eating one of those up Bs. I mean, it's the best out of shield option in the game in terms of raw frame data, but actually turns out we're going to be seeing some of the Xeno twins here as I can't even remember their names, but the blonde one is going to start out small battlefield for game number 1.
Oh God, that's amazing. Okay, so
is it okay?
You are the number one person I expected to say that exact sentence. That just came out of your mouth.
Legitimately, okay, this
is Mythra. This is Mythra that we got on stage. Is the blonde one. Pyra is the one with the red hair. Mythra and Pyra. And Mythra, of course, having the frame data of a demon, to say the least, man. I swear to God, this character was a turbo mode character that they just accidentally confused with the real one and left in the game. But Mythra, in my honest to God opinion, we'll not get into that too much right now, I think is top 5 at absolute worst. The movement that character has, combined with the frame data and insane punish game. Not to mention the fact that for some damn reason she has Bat Within. They thought that was a good idea to give this character. Like you're seeing right there, able to get out of that Game & Watch up air string and even punish accordingly. It's amazing, man. This character can actually even switch to Pyra in between that, depending on the context of the Foresight, which is the actual name of her sort of Bat Within mechanic. But she's a lot lighter than Pyra is right there with that down air. Going to be able to kill off the side. Vlone flex, able to flex his muscles a little bit and taking the first stock.
Yeah, there you go. The standard down throw into the nair at that low to mid percentage combo. Vlone flex right now is doing pretty decently. It seems like I've always noticed that characters or people who play a little bit more defensively, or at least move with just movement, as their main priority, not even necessarily setting up for offense, are the ones who find the most success with Game & Watch, because we see that not just with people like Meister, but individuals like the great Gonzalez who have switched over to Game & Watch for a while, or even YouTube Man, and actually Leon with the Pocket Game & Watch. They move around relatively well. They're smart. They're not necessarily going for big hits, but they find them because they know where to be on the map, on the stage. And yeah, right now, not suffering any damage, but it's all about where they are and the ability to take advantage of it. Vlone flex, actually flexing on him right now, catching these jumps with the back air, and anywhere they wind up being, just oppressing the movement of Alex, and that's going to be the down air. You got to be able to tech that. Back air is going to take it. Vlone flex got 8 percentage points worth of damage put on them that whole last stock. That's how it is. He games, you watch.
That was textbook Game & Watch throughout the entire second half of that game. Insane, non-committal, moving hitboxes with airspeed like butter, but only matching the color of this particular Game & Watch, man. Beautiful plays coming out from Vlone Flex right there. And it's so interesting because Mythra is one of the faster characters in this game with some of the greatest frame data on top of a disjoint as well. If any character, I feel like would be able to get out of disadvantage a little bit easier against a character with an amazing oppression session like Game & Watch, it'd be her. But I gotta tell you, this Mythra was being a little bit too predictable, at the very least on the part of Vlone Flex, my friend. Vlone Flex played it so perfectly, man. Just waited to see where Mythra was going to go every single time, and either put out a dash attack or a lingering hitbox like an up tilt or a nair, whatever have you be, and just kept her in disadvantage for as long as she could remember, on top of the fact not having any fear of dealing with Mythra's side B right there. One of the most dreaded moves in all of Twitter.com. The most dreaded Twitter.com move. It's very scary to deal with, but not if you have a big moving hitbox like Game & Watch Downer in Keyblade to stuff it out, to miss the tech, and be in the most exploitable position against him. My man got hit so hard, the counter pick is out here with the Joker, Stu. We're moving on to game 2.
And here we go on Town and City. We'll have to see what the calling card is here for this Joker. However, we kind of know what it is for the Game & Watch. And honestly, Vlone Flex's movement was very impressive. Certainly, it necessitates the character with pretty decent ground speed. Joker certainly fits the bill.
No, for sure. If there's any character who can do that kind of work and contest against Joker, it's definitely this one. We obviously see this matchup. We're used to see this matchup in the offline era quite a bit between Mexico's two top players in MK Leo and Meister, respectively, with the Joker versus the Game & Watch. We're seeing that matchup at a little bit lower of a level here, but none too much from these guys to even separate what they can do. If Vlone Flex played like he did in that last game, I think despite the counterpick, this Joker will have a lot to be afraid about, but hey, practice makes perfect, Stu.
We'll just have to see how this this Joker, with the assistance of Arsene, is going to contest with Vlone Flex right now. Seems to be doing pretty well, as it's going to be Axel taking the first stock off of this off of the Game Boy colored Game & Watch. I'm pretty sure people know that that's what that's in reference to, but nevertheless,
yeah,
going to just making sure that is technically a yellow. Just go with it.
Bring it out the boomer, and us. You got it.
Yeah, of course. Hey, man, I had one growing up. That thing was a brick. But dude, that thing literally could not get destroyed. I have if you've been to Nintendo World, you know exactly.
I've seen it. Yep.
Exactly. You know exactly what I'm
the one that survived the Gulf War.
Or bombing. Yeah,
Incredible.
Literally a bomb dropped on it.
Speaking of bomb drops, Stu. Speaking of bomb drops, right there with the forward air, not prepared to hit that one out of the air and taking out Axel's first stock right there, I should say. I don't know if he didn't realize anything or otherwise, but you can in fact hit that move. You can hit the bomb as Game & Watch spawns it on the way down. Actually, not while he spawns it, you'll get hit by the first hitbox, but after it spawns, if you are able to hit the bomb, it will not detonate, and you will be able to hit Game & Watch in the frames that he is still inactive from using the move in the first place. Amazing stuff on the part of Vlone Flex right there, able to reset this game right back to it, and the neutral is reset once again, both players respecting each other. Axel committing right there and calling out beautifully with the dash attack to the tech roll right there once again. But it's not going to stop him from getting put in disadvantage once again. But there is the DLC, my friend. You want to talk about disadvantage? I get rewarded for it.
Yeah, Vlone Flex, man. You gotta be careful. I mean, it's a character that does tend to struggle against disjoints in general, but the good thing about that bomb is that you can control the speed at which it drops. I mean, it's going to control when it detonates, even just because of its relative distance to the ground, and that's how you call out landings. It's a decent little approach tool for platforms if it's not what the opposition is expecting. And the bomb, well, it's been serving Vlone Flex well, but again, it's just because of how you use it. You're not just throwing it out there like the Metro card in past iterations of the game. You do have to think a little bit of how the thing is going to be deployed. And Axel still getting Vlone Flex wrapped around the axles just a little bit, as they are down to their last stock, and Axel is going to need that stock if they want to stay alive on winner's side.
Yeah, dude, Axel's definitely jumping the turnstile right now. The pick of Joker right now, jumping over it cleanly to be able to get this damage. And not even just that, man, the punish game on the part of Axel is so clean as well, able to get that 55, and he's knowing for the most part when even not to commit as well, which is something I'm really loving seeing from him. Definitely showing that the Joker is a little more practiced than his Mythra, which is understandably so. Joker's been in the game for, over 2 years at this point, and Mythra's only been in for a couple of weeks. But hey, man, Arsene's back out on deck again. Game & Watch, one of the lightest characters in this entire game. You gotta be careful, but committing right there with the oh my god, not my mistake. With the dash attack, that's exactly the kind of thing that Vlone Flex needed right there. Exactly the kind of thing to bring this game back out right there. If he was able to reset neutral just once, or if Axel forced him to, you're one of the lightest characters in the game, my friend. Dealing with Arsene becomes that much more terrifying.
Dash attack, trying to establish themselves yet again. Vlone Flex has been working to make this comeback happen, but oh my gosh, as quickly as that, Joker can just nullify your progress, trying to catch the landing with the down smash, and that's a sensible one. But yeah, Axel with the ground speed, I want to say 7th fastest in the entire game for Joker. It's somewhere in that area code. And yeah, you really don't want to be messing with it all that much. Vlone Flex has been trying to get a little bit of momentum, but has simply not been able to do so. And a nice little catch on the landing there with the side B, and kind of using Vlone Flex's game plan against them with these little non-committal hitboxes, and superseded with some really good, just really good buttons.
And I gotta say, man, this clock is starting to tick a little bit more, man. 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. Vlone Flex can die any second now, but if you're a game and watching this situation, Stu, I think you know what you're looking for. But hey, Vlone Flex is not going to be able to get it that time. Axel is going to be able to get that game and secure us a game 3 for this set right here. And I gotta tell you, what I was more afraid of than anything else is you have a Joker on the screen at 36%. You have a Game & Watch at 150. You know what Game & Watchers are looking for when that happens. You see the way that he's even searching for it in the neutral a little bit, just huffing out and waiting for that grab. But Vlone Flex, knowing all the better to not commit to something like that, lest he get Arsene to his death. But it's not going to matter. Axel going to get that kill where it matters, put himself back on the board with the Joker counter pick, working out beautifully for him right there, on top of having a disjoint plus the Arsene kill power to just delete Game & Watch's stocks. And as we move on to game number 3. This is a set, Stu.
Yeah, it's getting to be just a little bit chippy up in here as Axel maybe finding the answer to the Game & Watch with Joker. However, Vlone Flex, you could kind of see there was the start beginning to formulate a little bit of a game plan there. And Vlone Flex, we know that they have the capability of taking out some pretty decent competitors, but certainly with that movement, you can see it. I just kind of wonder if it's going to be there in time, because even though we do see them beating people like Monty and certainly people that we know like Citadel and whatnot, I just don't know if it's going to be there in time, because this is still a tough matchup for Game & Watch. Small Battlefield, game number 3. I mean, a character that struggles against disjoints, generally speaking, you're having to fight one-on-one against Joker, sometimes 2-on-1. That's it's a tough ask, Nintunist.
Yeah, but you know what they say, man. If you're outnumbered on that front, look to your friends. Game & Watch, make it a 3-on-2 right quick with that uppy out of shield, which I gotta be honest, have not been seeing Vlone Flex even utilize too much every time. But I don't think Axel's really been whiffing too much on shield. He's been respecting Game & Watch in the neutral that much more and just waiting and creating his opportunities instead of trying to force them as well. Like right there. You know, he just decided to hang back a little bit more, and then when he actually is up close, has to spot dodge cancel his way to get out of that. But instead, we're seeing the immense dash dancing from Joker, as we are one to see. As you mentioned, one of the 7th fastest dash speeds in the game. Not that it matters if you can't get down with the wind blowing up from below you, but hey, yeah, I can totally understand a little bit of fear coming out as that chair is going to take the stock, man. Small battlefield, tiny stage, you know, having to fight him up close. It's on times like these where Game & Watch is going to have to really focus more on his calling cards, or his lack of them, to say the least, in that uppy out of shield, which we really have not been seeing from Vlone Flex so far.
Ooh, and there you go. That up tilt just a little too deadly, and Axel going to take full advantage on the landing. However, Vlone Flex immediately taking advantage. If you're without a jump against Game & Watch, that's yeah, you games you watch, and that's, I know it's a line that I've used before, but that really is kind of how it tends to play out, isn't it, Nintunist?
It's as accurate as it gets, if we're being completely honest. It's in the name, my friend. And speaking of, beautiful jab lock, a move that literally does force you to watch, I should say. And now we're seeing Vlone Flex starting to flex his Vlone a little bit more this time around. It's beautiful. We're seeing the uppies out of shield. We're seeing the offstage presence from Game & Watch that we know the character is just so accustomed to. Being able to just fall down with those back airs, with those bombs as deep as he could possibly go, and then being able to make it back with that long-range uppy. The second time around, though, man, the chair. I don't know if you can do that twice in wrestling. You would know the rules much more than me. But this ain't no Rage in the Cage, to say the least, man. This is a small battlefield, and you could just die at any moment on a stage this tiny.
And now, trying to work this through, having Axel down to their last stock. We saw the beginnings of that game plan kind of working out through game number 2. Perhaps the realization of success here, as again, you're going to break out that up B, which has not featured as prominently as perhaps we might have expected, but that is a testament to just how well Joker has been moving. Vlone Flex has earned this full stock lead into this, make no mistake about it, but it's not like Axel's out of this just yet.
Absolutely not, my friend. He can take this stock right now and then pump that Arsene a little bit up. But that being said, the Arsene meter is relatively low, so he's going to have to tack on a lot of damage, or at the very least start using that down B a little bit more and try to absorb some damage from Vlonevex to really get his calling card back out. Forward tilt, not going to do it at that percentage though, my friend. This is sort of the whole gimmick of Joker, is that his kill power can be relatively weak on some moves without it, but this is Game & Watch we're talking about at the end of the day. He is, in fact, only 2 dimensions. I don't know if you've ever tried to throw a piece of paper like that. They're relatively light, and Joker's going to try to do that himself as long as this damage doesn't keep tacking up on him, my friend. Stu, he needs this stock right now if he wants any chance, and he finally wins it with the down smash. Half Arsene meter, Stu. He's not out of this yet.
Absolutely not. That great equalizer filling up ever so quickly. Vlone Flex is about 1 hit away. And you better believe, makes you wonder if that's going to necessitate them start swinging for the fences. You don't even need to break out the counter here. But there you go. Up B. You're going to get the Wings of Rebellion, but it's going to miss ledge. Vlone Flex fighting 2v1 at the very last second, and throws enough bombs for an explosive end for that game number 3. Axel, oh man, you saw the makings of a comeback there, but Vlone Flex, the fire might have been burning, but it gets put out in a hurry.
He got Arsene in the worst possible position he could have ever gotten it in, off stage against Game & Watch.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, my friend. I know the Arsene up B is invincible almost all the way through, except for the very beginning and the very end of it. But this is Game & Watch we're talking about. He could just non-commit with that downer right there and wait for whatever vulnerable frames, I should say, you're going to have on the way back. My God, but there's the equalizer right there with the down smash. All it takes is for Game & Watch to fall down and up B you non-committally, easy peasy to hit you back off the level, put you in a terrible position, and put the fear of God in you. Or should I say the fear of Ric Flair, afraid of a chair for a 3rd time in that game, which is why he drifted back away from the ledge, or whatever wrestler was more common in using steel chairs. You would know more than me, obviously, but hey, point is, that's what he was afraid of, and that's why he decided to drift back a little bit to try and microspace his way back to the ledge, and unfortunately he just wasn't able to come back quick enough.
I might have gone Eddie Guerrero